Okay guys, last day in Surfers Paradise here, just visiting my sister, and just had the weirdest incident. So what I'll do is I'll set up how this all happened, and then I'll get your thoughts on it. So basically, every morning I go to McDonald's and I check all my social media and look at the YouTube channel and so forth. And I walked in today and I was fairly busy, and I found a little spot. And I saw two bags underneath the table, like two luggage bags. So I get the attention of the guy next to me and I go, "Are these your bags?" And he goes, No, but someone left them here, they're probably in the toilet or something. They just left them. I thought, oh, just isn't good. Rule number one, guys, when you're in Australia, don't leave unattended luggage around. The police and so forth don't really like it, and I've had to go to security a few times over the last few months just to make them aware of suspicious packages around shopping malls and that sort of thing. So, and just a couple of days ago, they arrested they foiled like a huge terrorist plot here in Australia, and just like multiple targets and everything. So everyone's sort of a bit on edge. Anyway. So, I sort of thought, okay, I looked at the bags and I thought, bet you they're Chinese. I bet it's Chinese people, because every time I've reported them before, I've sort of waited around the area, and sure enough, the Chinese turn up, and it's their bags. So, once again, wait a few minutes, I sort of assess the bags and think, they're probably okay. But you never know. It could be full of exploded, who knows. So anyway, that's why you never leave them unattended. But so the Chinese woman comes along. I didn't know she was Chinese. She looked a bit Chinese, but anyway. And then she's eating at McDonald's, and her partner comes along and he brings his coffee or whatever. And so I'm watching. Coincidentally, I'm watching Serpent ZA, who is a South African guy who has lived in China for 10 years and does videos about China, and sort of criticised them a bit. So I was curious. I asked these two. I said, "You guys Chinese?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're Chinese." And I said, "Do you live here? Or are you tourists?" He goes, "Yeah, just tourists." All right, so that's their bags. And I talked to him about Serpent ZA. I go, "Oh, do you know this guy, Serpent ZA? And he goes, "Yeah, I've heard of him. He's South African, yeah." Yeah, so I have a bit of a chat about him, and I said, he does a few controversial things, and he gets himself into trouble in China. And then I sort of think, the Chinese do a lot of social engineering in Australia. They try and influence Australian students about learning about China and pushing the agenda that China's nothing to worry about. China's all good and positive and blah blah blah. So I sort of think, let's do some reverse social engineering here, and I'll teach this Chinese guy about the things in China. So as some of you might know, June the 5th, 2019 was the 30th anniversary of Tiananmen Square. So I go to him, I go, "Oh, do you guys know about Tiananmen Square? Because I know it's blocked in China, so they wouldn't have got any information from there." And this is where the weird incident happened, because before it was, it was a fairly serious guy, but it was fairly polite. Oh, here comes some Chinese now. Yeah. Just watch them walk past. There they go. Yeah, can't see him. Anyway, Chinese are everywhere here. Anyway, so I talk about Tiananmen Square. I bring it up, and he gets real serious. He goes, "This is fake." I think, whoa, buddy, whoa, hang on. And he gets up and starts leaving McDonald's, and he goes, "Yeah, this is fake." And I go, yeah, good boy, keep telling yourself that it's fake. And I think, wow, they've been brainwashed, basically. There's a lot of footage on YouTube, Tiananmen Square. You can look it up. It's real. It happened. It's not fake. And it just surprised me. And because when he started speaking English, whenever I see a Chinese speaking English, I sort of think, are they students? Are they Chinese spies? Because there's a lot of Chinese spies in Australia too. That's a totally different subject. And they actually troll my channel. Whenever I put anything about China, they'll put a lot of comments. I tend to delete them, really derogatory comments. And I'm not going to be used as Chinese propaganda by them. So so my theory is this guy definitely works for the Chinese Communist Party. Probably came here on a holiday. He's a bit of a spy. Good thing I didn't get any footage of him. He probably would have confronted me and tried to take my phone or whatever. But very interesting incident that. And so what do you guys think? I don't know. Everyone goes, no, I was being sort of, what would you call it, anti-Chinese, I guess, for a few years now. So I've seen what's been happening. And people call me racist, and I go, oh, I'm not racist. Like, Asians are a race. And my sister's first husband was Chinese. He was fourth generation Chinese, so he was like Aussie as he looked Chinese, but he spoke totally Aussie. And so we got no qualms there. My best friend's married to a Thai girl. No problems there. But when it comes to Chinese, I keep giving them a go. I want to like them, but just been so many incidences, especially in the big cities. They like to push onto the trams, and whenever there's a group of I just avoid them now. I just go into another carriage, so I'm not going to be pushed around. Like I'm 130 kilos and 6'3", and they just push into me, like, totally disrespectful, and I really don't like that. And when I was in Sydney New Year's a couple of years ago, there's more Chinese. Anyway, when I was in Sydney a couple of years ago, we booked like a cruise, me and my friend, my travel companion. Me and her, we always go on holidays together. And booked a cruise, and lo and behold, about 50% were Chinese. And they started pushing, the usual thing, they started pushing in the queue to get on the boat, because they want to get the best seat. For the fireworks and everything. And I thought, this is going to be a great night. And it got to a point where the captain of the ship, actually, or the boat, it's like a reasonable sized vessel, said, look guys, we're not going to board the vessel if you're all pushing, all right? And it just spoils the mood, I just can't stand how rude they are. And I just keep giving them goes, and they just keep disappointing me. Like this guy, I thought, I would start talking about, China and stuff. I asked him, what's the best places to go see, and etc., etc. But as soon as you start criticising the government or whatever, they just like fiercely defend them. It's weird. And I think what they do is they sort of attribute the government to their whole socio-economic rise. But what they don't realise is the West brought China from basically, I'd say peasant farmers, for want of a better phrase, to the superpower that they are now. Because a lot of people don't know this, that if you go and you want to manufacture something in China, you've got to hand over all your intellectual property, like all your patents, everything. So they own the technology, and you've also got to go partnership with a Chinese company, and they own 51%. So they control everything. I think it's the stupidest idea ever, and all we're getting in return really is just cheap Chinese goods. That's all we're doing. We're selling a country out for cheap Chinese goods. But so what do you guys think? Have you had any incidents of Chinese in your own country? In Australia, it's getting pretty bad. And I've had quite a few incidents with them, and I'm a big guy. I could cause some damage if I really wanted to. So I'm sure they wouldn't let me get away with pushing them around in their country. That's for sure. But they seem to think it's okay to push the locals around in their own country, and I think it'll get to a point where there will be a backlash, unfortunately. But it's just a sad situation all along, because Australians, we're very welcoming, we're very tolerant, we're very welcoming, but we don't tolerate arrogance. We're very easygoing, we don't tolerate arrogance. So if you're going to come here and be arrogant, just stay home, please. We don't want you here. Anyway, so this will be my last video before I head home, and I'll upload it. I'll go back to Macca's, get onto the free Wi-Fi and upload it there. And so leave your comments below. What sort of interesting confrontations have you had with Chinese in your own country? Because they seem to be in every part of the world now. Everywhere I go, there's a big Chinese community, and they travel a lot now. There's a burgeoning middle class, and like the fastest growing middle class in the world. So we need to deal with them. We can't just pretend they don't exist. So we need some strategies to try and deal with them. And another interesting thing that's happening in China, they've got these things called social points, and this is a way to control their population as well. And anything negative against the Chinese government, they take points off, and people with lower points get travel restrictions and that sort of thing that's happening over there. So yeah, and it tends to be creeping into Australia as well. There's it's almost like they're cracking down on freedom of speech in Australia as well, and they want to bring in laws to look into all our social media and everything. I know in the US now, you've got to give the US all your social media accounts and everything. It's just, I just don't like the way the world's heading at the moment. But so what are your thoughts? It's a bit of a serious video, I know, but I just felt compelled to make this one today because that was just such a weird incident. And I don't know, it's the fact that you can't talk openly to a Chinese person about events like that, one of the most important events in world history. It's almost like bloody Holocaust deniers, isn't it? It did not happen. It's like, come on guys, seriously. There's been a lot of new footage with Tiananmen Square with the 30th anniversary as well, so it's definitely happened, that's for sure. And if you're in a free country, you can Google it yourself. Put Tiananmen Square Tank Man, and I'll see what YouTube do with this video. We'll see if it gets restricted by advertiser restrictions, and if it does, I'll talk about it. I'll see if it gets not advertiser friendly, which I'm quite aware it probably will, but we'll see. And if it does, I'll talk about it. Okay guys, see you later. See you back in Adelaide. And I'll be doing some more Meghan Markle stuff and all that sort of thing, catching up on the latest royal news. Okay, bye.